You literally cannot make this stuff up. In the last 24 hours, I posted a YouTube video about how Minnesota Republicans introduced a bill into the state Senate to define Trump derangement syndrome as a real mental health disorder. Now, I talked about in that video how it's disgusting to make a mockery of mental health like this. As somebody who talks pretty openly about mental health on my platforms, I think it's gross to just joke about it and waste all our time. And even in this bill, it would be essentially a possibility to, if you were exhibiting symptoms of Trump derangement syndrome, to potentially be sent to a hospital. People who are actually going through real mental health crises, they can be, essentially involuntarily sent to a hospital for their own well-being. This bill would have the possibility to do that. Now, I also talked about the fact that it was gross from the perspective of all of these people are wasting our time. People voted for Trump and vote for these Republicans because you deserve common sense, lower cost of living, all of these things. And they're just wasting our time doing all of this with taxpayer dollars. Now, one of the co-sponsors of that bill today was arrested for soliciting a minor for you know what. Yes, I can't believe we live in this timeline. Let me break this down a little bit. This is the mugshot right here of Justin Ecorn, again, one of the co-sponsors of the bill, which I will show you in a second. A member of the Minnesota State Legislature was arrested in Bloomington Monday after police said he attempted to solicit a minor for you know what, according to a statement from the city's police department. Republican State Senator Justin Ecorn, who serves in northern Minnesota's District 6, was arrested after allegedly communicating with a detective who he believed to be a 16-year-old girl. The statement said Ecorn arrived at a predetermined meeting spot on the 8300 block, of, I believe that's Normandale Avenue, where he was met by the Bloomington Police Department officers. He was arrested without incident and booked into jail on felony charges of soliciting a person under 18 years old to practice prostitution. And here's some of the comments that were made today, because again, this literally just happened. The Democratic Senate Majority Leader in Minnesota, Aaron Murphy, called the allegation, quote, deeply disturbing, and it raises serious questions that will need to be answered by the court, as well as his caucus and the constituents, of course. And Senate Republicans released a statement saying, quote, we are shocked by these reports, and this alleged conduct demands an immediate resignation. Justin has a difficult road ahead, and he needs to focus on his family. Now, as of 1:15 p.m. today, Tuesday, formal charges have not yet been filed, and so we'll wait for that. Now, again, the video I posted literally within the last 24 hours was about this, the Minnesota Republican bill to define Trump derangement syndrome as a mental health, as a real mental health illness, and the backlash that it was receiving, understandably. This is the actual bill itself in text, if you're looking at my screen. And I know it's a little bit small because it's the actual PDF copy of the bill, but Senate authors, you see the third author, there's 4 total, Ecorn, the co-sponsor of the bill. Again, it is so stunning to me that every allegation or every, they're consistently throwing things that, Democrats, just disgusting claims that Democrats have mental health problems, or that they're obsessed with Trump, or just doing like grossly inflammatory things as elected officials, making a mockery of what's supposed to be a pretty serious thing to serve in any type of public office. And they do this all the time. And then they get arrested for stuff like this all the time. I also made a video yesterday about how somebody close to Trump, who actually used to, he invited Trump to speak at his megachurch in 2020. He was surrounded by Trump in 2016 on his campaign. A megachurch pastor was also arrested for doing very inappropriate things with somebody underage. And so again, this is the mugshot of Justin Ecorn, and we'll see where it goes. I really, 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 and maybe it's naive of me to say, but I every day I wake up, I hope that some Republicans out there, just one to start, will speak up about some of these issues, or just generally in relation to like the hypocrisy in Trump. Now, again, that's naive because it's now been almost a decade of Donald Trump. And oftentimes I catch myself saying, well, this has to be the line. Trump has us in constitutional crisis. This is the line. Or again, people close to Trump are getting arrested for doing terrible things to minors, while they all claim that Democrats are doing all these, the woke left is attacking children. Maybe this is the line. Or maybe, in Minnesota, when the super MAGA Republicans in a very contested state Senate are introducing bills around Trump derangement syndrome, but getting arrested for this. Maybe finally some Republican out there with a spine will come out and say enough is enough. But again, pretty naive to think that, because 10 years ago, enough was enough when, Donald Trump was running roughly 10 years ago, and we heard about the Hollywood Access tape, and we said, oh, there's no way. There's no way. This is it. Or he was impeached twice. Oh, it's over. Or, January 6th happened. That was the end of Trump's political career. And here we are, and he's president of the United States. And so, again, I think that just like pushing at any level, whether it's local, on a state level, whether it's federal level, pushing your Republican elected officials, any elected official always, but specifically in this instance, Republican elected officials, to speak up, to have a spine. We have heard so many times the rumors float around that are obviously, no doubt they're true. I guess they're rumors because we don't know for fact, but obviously you would assume that there are people in the Republican-led, in the House of Representatives and the Senate right now who believe what's going on a federal level is a coup. They believe that Donald Trump is doing unconstitutional things. They realize, holy shit, I'm in over my heels. Like, this is horrible. This is terrible for our country. And we hear these rumors fly that they're talking about this with their colleagues or with Democrats, and then they still get on a camera and they say, I love Donald Trump. Here's a picture of me next to Donald Trump. I'm going to do everything I can to suck up to Donald Trump. And I think that some of these individuals will go down as some of the most disgraceful Americans possibly in history. And I really don't mean that in a hyperbolic way. Like, the idea that we are deep in constitutional crisis, that all of our agencies are being hyper politicized, that, again, we're making a mockery by introducing, even on a local level, bills of Trump derangement syndrome. And Republicans know how ridiculous it is. People know how absurd it is, but they're just going to continue doing it for political gain. They're going to continue to do it to have a job, make money, make people, they don't want to ruffle feathers. I genuinely believe that they will go down as incredibly disgraceful for not standing up for something. Have some principle about you. Believe in something. I'm begging you, as a 23, excuse me. I just turned 23 recently. As a 23-year-old in America who wants to grow up in a future where I don't have to spend so much time thinking about fixing America, but I can actually live in a time where America's at peace. I just want some of our officials to stand up for something. I will keep you updated on this story. I will see how it evolves. Again, you can check out my other YouTube video specifically going more in depth around the bill to define Trump derangement syndrome as a mental illness in the state Senate. And I really, really appreciate you being here and watching the video. Like I said, I'm going to leave it there. If you want to check out the links in the description to my other social media accounts, I post on TikTok, Twitter, etc. You can check it out. And please, please, please do me a favor and have a good week. You deserve it. I'm proud of you. And I'll see you in the next video.